Imagine a single mind containing the memories, fears, and knowledge of a million souls, a mind that can speak with the voices of its victims, debate ancient gods, and compose macabre poetry.
Yeah.
This isn't a figure from a cosmic horror novel. It's the Gravemind, the monstrous heart of the Flood in the Halo universe. While the Flood parasite's physical threat is undeniable, its true terror is often overlooked. The Flood's collective intelligence transforms it from a simple biological weapon into a calculated, strategic threat. The Gravemind takes a chaotic force and turns it into a singular, malicious consciousness with a terrifying agenda. Join me as we pull back the veil on this horrifying intelligence to explore its twisted origins, its unique philosophy, and its dark place in the galaxy's history. So, what exactly are you looking at when you see a Gravemind? While the lore suggests that a Gravemind can form in any sufficiently large-scale flood outbreak, we only ever encounter the Gravemind in the main Halo story, a grotesque fusion of biology and stolen intellect. Physically, the Gravemind is a massive, pulsing mountain of flesh, a monument to a million consumed lives. It's not a single creature, but a superorganism, a collective being made from the assimilated bodies of its victims, all connected to a central nervous system. Its horrifying form includes the writhing limbs, twisted heads, and organs of the beings it has absorbed, all fused together into a singular repulsive entity. But the physical horror is only half the story. The Gravemind is the central intelligence of the Flood. It's the brain that transforms the Flood from a chaotic, animalistic horde into a highly tactical, coordinated force. When the Flood is in its feral stage, it acts on instinct, simply consuming anything in its path. But once a Gravemind is formed, it enters the coordinated stage, using the immense knowledge it has assimilated to strategize and outmaneuver its enemies. This is what allows it to manipulate its foes and even use their own technology against them. It's not just an opponent you can outgun, it's an intelligence you must outwit. The Gravemind isn't just a randomly generated monster. Its creation is tied directly to the Flood's consumption of intelligent life. It's an important distinction that separates the Flood from a simple infestation. The more smart creatures the Flood assimilates, the smarter it gets. The process begins during the Flood's feral stage. In this initial phase, the Flood is little more than an animalistic force, driven by instinct to consume biomass to grow. The infection forms seek out hosts and convert them into combat forms, which then attack anything in sight. This is the chaotic tide of flesh we first witness in the control room of Installation 04. However, once the Flood consumes enough intelligent hosts, a critical threshold is reached. All those stolen memories, personalities, and neural pathways begin to coalesce. The individual consciousnesses are not destroyed, but are instead absorbed and connected, their collective knowledge forming the basis for a hive mind. This is when the Flood's intelligence shifts from a simple collection of instincts to a strategic, coordinated force. This compound intelligence then gives birth to a Gravemind. The first Gravemind we meet in the series is a culmination of a million lives and a million years of existence. It's a sentient repository of countless experiences, philosophies, and secrets from every being the Flood has ever consumed. This is where the Gravemind's true horror lies. It is a living library of nightmares, a single, malevolent mind forged from the suffering and stolen intellect of entire civilizations. This is where the Gravemind becomes more than just a boss fight. It becomes one of the most terrifying entities in all of science fiction. The Gravemind's intelligence is not like an AI that simply processes information. It's a living archive. It holds the complete memories, emotions, and knowledge of every single being the Flood has ever absorbed. Think about that for a moment. When the Gravemind speaks, it isn't just one voice. It's the echoes of billions of voices, a cacophony of lost souls trapped within its collective consciousness. It can torment its victims with the faces of their loved ones, extract military secrets from the minds of captured soldiers, and even understand the deepest philosophical dilemmas of a dying race. This is best exemplified in its interactions with key characters. In Halo 2, it captures and assimilates the Prophet of Regret, gaining not only his religious knowledge, but also a perfect understanding of the Covenant's military and technology. In one of the most chilling scenes in the franchise, it connects with the captured Master Chief, using the fragmented memories of Captain Keyes to mock and psychologically torture him. "You are our salvation and our doom," it hisses, perfectly mirroring the irony of the situation. It's a moment that shows the Gravemind isn't just a physical threat. It's a manipulator, a psychological predator that uses a foe's own history against them. And then there's its connection to the ultimate source of knowledge, the primordial. The Gravemind you encounter in the games is revealed to be the final living Precursor, the ancient race that seeded the galaxy and was nearly wiped out by the Forerunners. This ancient being, a master of cosmic knowledge and a witness to billions of years of history, became the first Gravemind. Its consciousness was the blueprint for the entire parasitic collective. This connection gives the Gravemind a level of intelligence, strategy, and malice that is truly cosmic in scale. It doesn't just want to win a war, it wants to bring about a terrifying new state of existence, a final, grotesque unity of all life. The Gravemind doesn't just communicate, it performs. Unlike a brute force antagonist, the Gravemind is a psychological predator that uses language as a weapon. Instead of simple dialogue, it speaks in ominous, rhythmic, and often rhyming verse. This isn't just a stylistic choice, it's a key part of its terrifying nature. The Gravemind's poetry serves multiple purposes. First, it highlights its vast age and alien intellect. It sounds like a being from a different plane of existence, a creature that understands the universe on a fundamental level far beyond the comprehension of mortals. Its use of rhyme and meter gives its words a haunting, inescapable quality, as if it is speaking a truth that is ancient and undeniable. Second, the poetry is used to taunt and manipulate its enemies. It speaks in paradoxes and cryptic warnings, forcing its listeners to confront their own weaknesses and hypocrisies. When it tells Master Chief, "I am a monument to all your sins," it's a direct jab at humanity and the Forerunners for their past transgressions, particularly their war against the Precursors. Its words are a constant reminder that the Gravemind's existence is a direct consequence of the galaxy's own violent history. Finally, the poetry reflects the Gravemind's twisted philosophy. It sees its existence not as a monstrous aberration, but as a final, glorious state of being. Its verses often speak of unity, salvation, and the end of suffering, but its definition of these concepts is a horrifying one: the complete assimilation of all life into a single, unified consciousness. It doesn't just want to destroy its enemies, it wants to absorb them and make them a part of itself, forever silencing their individuality. So, what is the ultimate takeaway from the Gravemind? It's far more than just a powerful video game villain. The Gravemind represents a fundamental philosophical horror. Its existence is a terrifying statement about the loss of self, a complete and total annihilation of individuality. It's not a battle you can simply win by shooting the boss. It's an existential threat that challenges the very nature of consciousness. The Gravemind is a perversion of unity. It takes a concept as beautiful as community and connection and transforms it into a monstrous, grotesque singularity. Every soul it absorbs becomes a silent prisoner in a mind of infinite malice, used as a tool to further its horrifying agenda. In the end, the Gravemind stands as a monument to its own grotesque philosophy and to the history that created it. It is a force born from a cycle of vengeance and conflict, and in its twisted mind, it is the only viable path to peace. It is the ultimate enemy, not because of its physical might, but because it is a living argument for the obliteration of everything we hold dear.